Hey everyone, Matteo from the Hub World here with another video game collection update. Actually releasing this one a little sooner than I thought because it turns out I actually got a lot of stuff. There was a lot of really opportune sales that happened in the late spring. A lot of clearance sales, especially on Nintendo products. So yeah, we get a little bonus sort of spring collection update. I wasn't planning on releasing one until the early summer. So if you like these game haul videos, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the Hub World for more game hauls, podcasts, and Gino and Adriano actually are doing a multiplayer Majora's Mask Ocarina of Time randomizer that's really entertaining. So yeah, check those out if you're interested. So starting off with GameCube today, I only have one game actually. My GameCube collecting sort of is ramping down. I'm only getting specific games that I know that haven't been re-released, and one of them actually is Prince of Persia: The Warrior Within. Once again, I'll be having the prices in the top corner here of the screen. This is the sequel to Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. From what I've read, the GameCube version is the definitive version of this game. I didn't buy it when it came out or in the last few years because I heard it wasn't very good, just from word of mouth. But then I looked at critical reviews and the game actually is like not bad. And actually one of my friends recently told me that this is actually, it might be an unpopular opinion, better than Sands of Time. But yeah, this was one I had my eye on. I actually got it in a buy two get one free sale, and this was the cheapest of the three games, so I got it for free. So anytime I can add a game for free is a really nice thing. So let's put that aside over here. That's the only GameCube game, like I said. So for Wii, I have a few really exciting pickups. The first one is another game I got. It's not that really expensive, but it's, I believe, a Wii exclusive to this day. That is Mad World. This is a Platinum Games game. Really cool art style, how everything's like black and white, and red when there's blood. This is actually one I really want to play. I've had my eye on it for a while, but just didn't want to pay more than $20 for it. And in Canada, in the first few months of the year, we had actually no tax on video games, so I was able to pay face value for this, which was $19.99, which was really nice. So yeah, Mad World. And then two really exciting games. I know one of them for sure was on the bounty board. I don't remember if this one was, but I finally got it. I got Poké Park Wii Pikachu's Adventure. I had Poké Park 2, I believe, in the last episode, so I'm really happy to get this one. This one appeared. I got this at the same time I got Mad World, actually. It's in great condition. It has all the inserts, actually like displaying the manual at the front, because that's the most desired insert. This was a really sort of bucket list game I needed to get. One of few remaining Wii games I needed. This is like the Poké Park games kind of like are like the natural successor to Hey You Pikachu and like Pokemon Channel. They're sort of like children's like first type of Pokemon game, and yeah, I'm just really happy to finally have it. I got it at a really good price too, which is the most important thing. I didn't have to buy that coffee spilled one that I talked about the other day, or the other episode, but finally happy to add that to my collection. And then last off for the Wii, a game I should have bought a long time ago but didn't for whatever reason. Finally got Wii Party, and I have it in a protective case. Wii Party, for whatever reason, is a valuable game, and it's sort of bleeding into Wii Party U as well. Wii Party U, I think, recently passed $80. I mean, it was a $60 game when it came out, so $20 increase isn't that bad, but to think, like, they couldn't give them away when the Wii was sort of on its way out, and now it's this game is especially harder to find, and it's probably on its way to pass $100 soon. But I saw this at used game stores last year, even for like $40, and I just said, it'll always be that price. And then no, it's really surged. So I'm really happy to add this. There's one more first-party Wii game that I need before I can finish my first-party Nintendo game collection on Wii. and I'm gonna save that for the bounty board because for whatever, and it's not like a crazy expensive game. It's just one that I can't find locally anywhere or even on my verified online retailers. So anyways, I'll just move these aside. I got one Wii U game as well, which is another one that I kind of regret not buying when it first came out, and that's Wii Sports Club, the game that finally gave us the promised golf on the Wii U gamepad. I love that in the very first Wii U sort of like demonstration trailer they showed that. But yeah, this is basically just a sort of remastered, enhanced sort of version of Wii Sports, but for Wii U. So it's like HD Wii Sports. It's kind of irrelevant now due to Nintendo Switch Sports, but I didn't pay anywhere near what this was worth. This is in like the $100+ range. I didn't even pay $80 for it. So it kind of pays to wait kind of until like there's a slight dip in the market for a game. And I was really patient with this one. I could have paid $110 for it at one retailer, but I chose no. I feel like I could do a little bit better, and sure enough, I paid under $80 for this. So this is the only Wii U game, but also like the Wii, I'm only a few games off from having the first-party collection done for the Wii U. Also, another sort of single one-off game for PS5 I got. I got Sackboy: A Big Adventure. This is just another game I've been eyeing for a while that was really cheap when I picked it up. Like, I only had to pay $15 for this, and it was sort of like a add-on to another order to get free shipping. It's a 3D platformer made by Sumo Digital. Sumo Digital's a really talented team. They made, I believe it was Snake Pass, and they made arguably one of my favorite racing games of all time with Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing, and as well as Transformed, but I like All-Star Racing 1 more than Transformed, so I'm really excited to play this. I have, especially after Astrobot, that 3D platformer itch. And then going into Xbox, across multiple generations of Xbox, we'll start with the original Xbox. I chose to buy this on Xbox instead of GameCube because the GameCube version of this game is disgustingly expensive. This one is expensive, but less so. Gauntlet Dark Legacy. I played this game a lot at my friend's house. He had the GameCube version. The Xbox version apparently is the definitive version, but everything on GameCube is just crazy expensive. Like even Sonic Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time it's not crazy expensive, but it's more expensive on GameCube. It's just a lot of these games, for whatever reason, people want to collect them more on GameCube. This one is, like I said, not as expensive as the GameCube counterpart, but Gauntlet Dark Legacy is a really, really fun game. I actually watched a video by a YouTuber named CronCube, who's sort of documenting the development history of games from this generation, specifically GameCube, but he did an episode on Gauntlet Dark Legacy. I'll put a link actually to it here because it's such a good video, really informative about the development history of this game and everything you would want to know about it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this. I wish it was backwards compatible on Series X, but that's why I have an Xbox 360 still, so I can play games like this. Speaking of Xbox 360, this actually might be the most amount of Xbox 360 games I've talked about in a Game Haul video. First one was a free game that I got in a deal similar to Prince of Persia, Gears of War Judgment. This is like a $10 game, if that. It's just I wanted to have the complete Gears of War collection on Xbox 360 for whatever reason. I just need Gears of War 2, so getting a nice game like this as sort of a throwaway is really nice. Not really much else to say about it. Another game that, funny story about this, I knew this game existed, but not its sequel. So I got Persona 4 Arena. I loved playing this game at Jules' house. We played with our friends a couple months ago, and for whatever reason, I thought this was the game we were playing, but we were actually playing Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, which is sort of like a sequel, but also like a deluxe sort of version of this game with more characters and things like that. Yeah, I am going to get Ultimax eventually, but not knowing this game existed was kind of funny. So, or thinking this was Ultimax was kind of funny. But yeah, really excited to play that as well. And then lastly, for Xbox 360, I got 2 games here. One game and its sequel. I don't know if it was last video or the video before. I kind of talked about Final Fantasy 13. Well, I got Final Fantasy 13-2 complete. This is, I think, the worst of the 3 games by a lot of people, in a lot of people's opinions. But like I said, I wanted to own them. They are enhanced games on Xbox Series X. And then I also got Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns, or Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13, or Final Fantasy 13-3, whatever people call it. I've heard it called multiple different things, but yeah. These 2 games were ones I had my eyes on for a long time, just because, like with other games I've shown so far, you don't want to get gouged on games like this that are like sub $25 games. Paying more than that is just highway robbery, and just have a little patience. Don't rush getting games if you're in no rush to play them, and I'm in no rush to play any of these games, but this is maybe $70, $60 worth of games. I'm not going to pay $100 for that. Like, just have some patience. Speaking of patience, for Xbox One Series X, I think this is actually this is the most recent game I picked up out of all of these. That's Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. I've actually never played a Metal Gear Solid game. I own the GameCube version of Metal Gear Solid 1, the Twin Snakes, but I don't own any other Metal Gear game aside from that. So this has gotten a lot of TLC through patches recently. Like when it launched, it was in a very bad state, but between the patches, the recommendations from friends, and the fact that I only paid $20 for this, it was brand new. I opened it and installed it on my Xbox, but yeah, I really hope they release a Volume 2 that has MGS4 and Peace Walker and 5, but I gotta get started with this. These are some of the greatest games of all time from what I'm told, so definitely want to give those a try. Another great game that I picked up recently was one that I was really patient on, because I didn't want to pay, like I said, more than $20 for this, and it was also on clearance. I got a physical copy of Cuphead. I didn't want to pay more than, I didn't want to pay more than $20 for this game. You could easily get that digitally, but the reason I wanted the physical version of the game is because all the DLC, so the Delicious Last Course DLC, is on the disc, which is huge for me. You also get like a few little trinkets. You get like some fun little Cuphead comic cards, as well as a Cuphead membership card, which is, I think they're all individually numbered, which is kind of cool. And here's the back side if anyone wanted to see it. Cuphead's one of those games, like, I don't think it was ever on Game Pass, even though it was originally an Xbox exclusive game. And this game is fantastic. Even like the Cuphead dice rolling board game is really fun. Like, I really hope they continue on with Cuphead in another game or whatever. Studio MDHR is so talented. And yeah, this is just one of those games I was just waiting to get for a really long time. And then lastly, for all of the Xbox pickups I got, was my Game of the Year from last year. Finally got Indiana Jones in the Great Circle. I got a physical copy of this game. Kind of hard to find, in all honesty. I don't know why. Maybe they just didn't make very many, but yeah, this was a used copy. Got it at GameStop, so I got my 15% off discount on it. So yeah, unfortunately, like games nowadays, you don't really get anything. Like Cuphead, that was I believe I Am 8-bit or limited run, so they do usually give you something, but yeah, on first party games, it's very rare that you get anything like in terms of manuals or anything. So yeah, I just got to get the DLC when that comes out. I'm really looking forward to that. If you haven't played this game, I believe the rumored release date for the PS5 release is like April 17th or something like that. It's really soon. If you haven't played it, play it. It's fantastic. It's probably my favorite Machine Games game, more than Wolfenstein 1 and 2. But yeah, it's such a fantastic game. Highly recommend it. So that is it for the Xbox segment of the episode. Going on to the Nintendo Switch now. There hasn't been a major first-party release since the last episode, so I just mostly was collecting games that were ones that I had my eye on for a long time, and there was a great sale on Nintendo's website and elsewhere. So first of all, I got Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble's Legendary Banana Edition. Say that 5 times fast. It's just the game with some DLC codes for characters and a little booklet. This is the best Super Monkey Ball game on Switch from what I've read. I've played it. I love it. I really want to do like a big multiplayer night where we play this game. I love especially Banana Rumble. That's my favorite mode. Yeah, I've already used the code, so no one can steal that. The game I have currently in, I think, my Switch or Gino's Switch. I don't remember. But yeah, this is such a fantastic game. Definitely, if you can get it, I paid $25 for it on a website. It's definitely worth it. It's such a fun Super Monkey Ball game. I haven't played one since the GameCube era, and apparently this was the one to get. So on Nintendo's website now, there was a big sale on a wide variety of games. I was able to pick up 2, and I still have them sealed. So the first one is Miitopia. I played this on 3DS. It was really fun. I know a game gets a bad rap. It's just a really fun, simplistic RPG with a lot of quirky, goofy characters, and like you can create your own Miis and put like your friends in the game. You could put like video game characters as Miis in the game. It's just really fun. And I think the new features were, yeah, here it is. You get to add a horse to the game for some reason, and the Mii Maker is apparently way more in depth than it was on 3DS. So maybe one day I'll play it, but it is sealed, so maybe I won't. One for sure that I won't play that I picked up on clearance on Nintendo's website is Game Builder Garage. I honestly don't know very much about this game. Like, it's supposed to be this game where you create your own games and whatever, but it didn't really take off. I don't think, like with Nintendo Labo, I think Nintendo had higher expectations with this game, because like in theory it's a great idea, but it's a lot of work. And I know Jules bought this game, and I don't know if he really even like played more than an hour of it, but a brand new copy was less expensive than a used one, so I'm like, I may as well get the brand new one. And then speaking of a used copy, I was able to get a used copy of Another Code Recollection with my GameStop discount. This is one that I can't really find used in my like physical local store or online on my online retailers that I frequent, but GameStop had it. I might actually have to go that route for a lot of Switch games, because I guess other collectors realize that they're not going to trade it in, so you got to just take advantage of the people that just buy the games and trade them in as soon as they're done with them, and I assume that's what happened with this one. It's a remake of the I think it was Trace Memory or something like that. The first one came out in North America, but its sequel never came out in North America. I believe it may have come to Europe, but yeah. Here's the thing. This is actually in my Switch. I know. So Monkey Ball was in Gino's. So yeah, I'm currently playing through the first game. It's a very simple sort of like walking puzzle game, but Nintendo doesn't really make stuff like that. So like anytime that they sort of want to step out of their comfort zone, I support them, and I'm having a good time with the first game right now. So hopefully I'll finish that soon. This is actually something Gino bought, but he wanted me to show off. And the game has its hooks in me too, albeit it's not on Switch. We got the Balatro Special Edition. This is sealed. We got this online from one of our go-to stores. It's sort of been flickering in and out of stock, but it's a special edition because it comes with 10 Balatro Joker cards. I don't know if it's the same 10 in every one or if it's random or whatever, but I am currently playing Balatro right now. And on Xbox Game Pass, because it just got added to Game Pass. What a great sort of chill game. Like, the way that it kind of turns poker on its head is really great, and just learning different strategies, because it's a poker roguelike essentially. It's fantastic. This is, I believe, we paid face value for this. It was about $40 Canadian. But yeah, Gino wanted it really badly. He's like, I love this game so much. I want it in the collection, so we're like, okay, we'll pick it up when we find it, and we found it recently. So I don't think there's an Xbox edition. I think it's only Switch and PlayStation, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Balatro is fantastic. You can even get it on your phone. Like it's that widely available. So that is it for the Switch. Just those 5 games. On to the heavy hitters of today's episode. We'll start with 3DS. Man, did I have a great time collecting 3DS in the last few months. A lot of games that I've been looking for a really long time. I found them in the exact edition that I wanted. First of all, I kind of undid a mistake that I made back in 2017 when I traded in a bunch of games to get the Switch. I got Pokemon Rumble Blast added back into my collection. Pokemon Rumble's kind of like a guilty pleasure type of game for me. I really enjoy it. Rumble Blast is, I think, the only non-digital Pokemon Rumble game, because the first one came out on WiiWare, I think, and then there was one on Switch as well. There may have been and then there was a Wii U one. They actually had like physical NFC figures for that game, but not actually a physical copy of the game. It was a digital. So yeah, I really liked this game when I played it way back when, what year was it? 2011? So that would have, or no, couldn't have been 2011. 2011 was when the, 2012 is when the 3D, no, 2011, yeah, must have been, yeah. Wow, where the time, it just flies. So yeah, I'm just gonna fix the box art on this so I don't forget later on. So yeah, Pokemon Rumble's kind of a guilty pleasure game. It's just a simple sort of beat 'em up type game. And yeah, really happy to add this back to the collection. Finally, I got the case closed. There we go. Then the next one is a game that crossing off the bounty board. I finally found a non-UAE version of Mario Party Star Rush. I don't have that little pesky eyesore of a stamp right in the corner there. This is a North American copy, specifically the Canadian one, because it has the played in French icon there. This is as complete in box as it gets for late 3DS games. Yeah, and they have the red case just to make sure that it's a Mario game. The 3DS, maybe I'll do a video about that. It's just such a weird system to collect for. All the variants, like you have the spine art changing later on. You have some cases in red, some cases in white. Like Nintendo really did a number on collectors during the 3DS era, but this is the last Mario Party game I needed. Now I own every Mario Party game, and this was just one of those big games that I wanted to get on 3DS still. So happy to add that. Another game that I kind of had trouble finding, but I didn't add it to the bounty board. I probably would have added it after today with so many games coming off. And once again, this is not a UAE version. Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. This is I guess you would call it a demake. I don't know. The Wii U version is still better. But this is still a serviceable game if you don't own the Wii U. I love Yoshi's Woolly World. One of my favorite Wii U games. But yeah, like these late 3DS games and the most popular 3DS games, they are the ones that mainly got that UAE version. And it's a North American cartridge, once again. Like that's why there's so many here, is because it's the cheaper alternative than buying the North American box art. But as a collector, I don't like that. So yeah, this is one that I should have bought when it came out. I didn't get hosed on it. I just basically paid what it was worth back then. So in Canadian dollars, this was a $39.99 game. I paid $40 for it, so no harm, no foul, I guess. But yeah. And then lastly, on 3DS, this was one I've been looking for a very long time as well. And believe it or not, I found a sealed copy. I kind of have the moral dilemma of whether I should open it or not. Kirby Battle Royale. There was a UAE copy at my local game store, and it's probably still there because I'm actually going there on Sunday. So today's Friday as of recording this video, so I'm going to be going there in a few days, and I bet you dollars to donuts I'll see the UAE copy there still. So yeah, this is sealed. I don't know how well the camera picks up. Yeah, you can see a little bit in the bottom corner there. This was, I believe, a dual release on 3DS. They had a digital-only version for a while, but then eventually the game got released physically, or maybe it was the game before this, I don't know. But Kirby Battle Royale, I played the demo of it on my 3DS back when you could actually download things on it, and it was a really, really fun game. It's just a Kirby sort of like semi-fighting game, and there is a little story mode, yeah, but I don't think that was available in the demo. But yeah, Kirby is kind of like in his best era ever right now, if I had to say, and 3DS played a big part in that. Like, Kirby was probably on 3DS, I think that's when the series kind of took the next step into becoming an even bigger name, because now you have like Kirby cafes everywhere. Kirby dipped its toe into 3D, and I'm sure the next Kirby game is going to be fantastic. There's rumors of Planet Robobot being ported over to Switch as well, so this game is one that I probably won't open. Maybe I'll look for just a loose copy of the game and play it that way, but or I still have the demo installed on my 3DS, so maybe I'll just get my fill playing that, who knows. But that's it for 3DS, but we still have one more DS game. This is one that I've kind of been looking for a long time, and I saw it pop up on this online retailer I use all the time, and I immediately added it to cart because it was way under value and it was in fantastic condition, and that is Game & Watch Gallery 2. I have Game & Watch Gallery 1. I got it in one of my first Game Haul videos. Like I mentioned back then, this was a Club Nintendo exclusive game, so there's probably not that many out in the wild. I only paid $60 Canadian for this. It's pushing $100, and all it is just it's like a compilation of a bunch of games from the Game & Watch, and I really do have a lot of nostalgia collecting for Game & Watch because I have three actual Game & Watches in my collection, on top of the Game & Watch Gallery series on Game Boy, and now I have Game & Watch Gallery 1 and now 2. I should have got these on Club Nintendo when they were free, in quotations, because technically you had to pay for all the games in order to get it, but I would get dumb collectibles on there instead. But these games now are actually going up in price, so if you have them, hold on to them, I would say, because I think the sky's the limit for stuff like this. Club Nintendo was just a really nostalgic part of Nintendo's history in like the early 2010s, and too bad it's gone, because I don't think My Nintendo's ever been able to hit the heights that Club Nintendo hit, and this was one of the last great rewards that they did have on there. So yeah, complete unbox Game & Watch Gallery 2 for the DS. So that wraps up DS and 3DS. Onto the Zelda series, and because I have multiple games from the Zelda series, I'm on my way to getting all the Zelda games, and I believe after today I'll only need one more. So I got a loose copy of Zelda 1 for NES. This was picked up at a used game store, not very expensive. It has a little bit of scuffs on it. It was in a lot worse shape, but I cleaned it really well. And I think that's why it was on sale. The sticker's in fantastic condition as well, so that's what I look for in NES games. And like, you can really tell on camera that it's scuffed up, but in person, not so much. And it's because of the gold cartridge really sort of accentuates the scuffs and scratches. So I got Zelda 1, and then obviously got Zelda 2 as well with it. It's in just as good condition. The sticker's in good shape as well. I mean, for being like almost 40-year-old games, these are in pretty good shape. So I got those. And then the other Zelda game I actually got this in a trade with my friend, Phil, who we've talked about a few times. He had an extra copy of The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons, and we did replace the battery on it because the battery died on these games. I'm actually going through a lot of my Game Boy games and just checking in on them, seeing how the batteries are doing, replacing the ones. I know Generation 2 Pokemon games, even Generation 1 games too, have batteries that will die on there if you don't change them. The newer batteries are higher capacity, so they'll last longer, and they're better quality batteries too than the stuff that was used back in the day. So yeah, Oracle of Seasons. I own Ages. I think the only one left that I need now is Link to the Past, I think, and then eventually I might get like the Japanese and Europe exclusive Tingle games. But other than that, then I have all the Zelda games. So yeah, just 3 quick Zelda games. I don't think I've ever shown off my Zelda collection. It pales in comparison to Jules's, but I still have quite a bit of Zelda stuff. And then lastly, we're going to end with the Nintendo 64, my favorite console of all time. First of all, I got sort of a bucket list controller. I love this, like, I think it's called Atomic Purple. So this is an Atomic Purple N64 controller. I have an Atomic Purple Game Boy Color, got the Atomic Purple controller. I even bought Atomic Purple third-party Joy-Con shells that I put onto my Joy-Con controllers. I love the Atomic Purple color. I just love being able to see through the plastic. I really hope this sort of fad of see-through plastic comes back for, I don't care for like Macs and things like that, but like particularly for games and consoles and controllers. Like, I think that was such a nostalgic, really cool thing that they did back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But for this controller in particular, I made sure it's got a really good joystick. I know how to change them, and there's some really good aftermarket controller stick replacements that you can use. But yeah, everything works. None of the buttons are like pressed in too much. And N64 controllers are really easy to repair, so at least there's that. One day I might just give this a deep clean. I did a very surface level clean on it, but you can never have a used controller be too clean, in my opinion. So there's that. And then the last 2 items I'm going to show off are complete in-box Nintendo 64 games. Gino wanted me to show these off. These are technically his. Nintendo 64 has a really special place in our hearts. It was our first real console that we had. And prior to the pandemic, I bought so many complete in-box N64 games for like less than $50 because the market really hadn't established itself yet. So Gino got both of these games for under market value. The first one is Mario Golf for the N64. As you can tell here, the shrink wrap is still on it, but it was cut from this side and the game was pulled out and whatever there. But whoever used to own it before us kept the shrink wrap on it. Mario Golf is such a fantastic game, especially I'd say this one and the 3DS one are my 2 favorite in the series. I love the mini golf mode in this game. Even has the price tag on it, or the code from wherever it was bought before. Yeah, Mario Golf is just, I love this game. We actually discovered there was a cheat that you could just input the controller commands on the main menu and you can unlock everything. So it's on NSO. It's really fun. Give mini golf a try. It's really, really great. And then the last N64 game is the one that I think sort of puts a nice button on the N64 complete in-box collection, because now between Gino and I, we kind of have our childhood N64 games in complete in-box form again. It gives me goosebumps thinking about how much money we threw away back then, throwing away all the cardboard boxes and the instruction manuals and stuff like that, and now how expensive things are just to replace. But we got a copy of Mario Kart 64. This was our second ever game on N64. Obviously Mario 64 was the first, but the amount of time we put into this game as kids growing up was just uncalculable. Like, I honestly could not give you a good estimate. Every time we had family and friends come over, it was always Mario Kart 64. This box for being, almost 30 years old, is in such fantastic shape. I'm actually going to pause the video and open this up and show you something really interesting about it. So, the interesting thing about this actually is when we went to the store to buy this, it had 2 instruction manuals. And this actually is the original instruction manual that came with Mario Kart 64. And this one was probably the one that they would add when the game became a player's choice. Like, I don't know. This style of manual is very synonymous with N64, but early games like Mario 64 and Pilot Wings and stuff had this style of manual where like the game's box art or like other art from the game would be put in. It's the exact same except for the front page, so, and the back page. So yeah, I thought this was really interesting. Like the owner of the store is like, here you go, and we're like, well, why does the manual look different? She didn't have really an explanation, so it's like, well, here, take both. So thank you for that. Shout out to the store owner. But yeah, we have both those. I have nowhere else to put it, so I'll just leave it back in the box. Just put this off screen for now because we got to do our bounty board. So if you remember from the last episode, we had 4 games on the bounty board. Got 2 of them crossed off the list today with Mario Party Star Rush and Wii Party. So the 2 games that were on last time were Advance Wars Days of Ruin for the DS and Detective Pikachu Returns for the DS. Advance Wars Days of Ruin, I'm looking high and low for that game. It's funny how whenever there's a game that I'm not really interested in buying, I see it everywhere, but then the second I start to want it, then I can't find it anywhere. And then when I do find the game, like I guarantee you with half of these games I found, I'll start seeing them in the stores everywhere. It's honestly hilarious, but it adds to the thrill of the hunt. So, like I said earlier, I want to get Persona 4 Arena Ultimax for the Xbox 360, and then the last game on the list is the final Wii game I need to complete my first-party Wii collection. It is a game called Fling Smash. If you know Fling Smash and you're a collector, you know that it's not that valuable of a game. It's a $15 game at max. But for the life of me, I cannot find it anywhere. And just a simple motion control game that used Wii Motion Plus, and I don't want to go and pay eBay prices. I don't want to pay crazy marketplace prices. I want to just find it in the store, buy it, be happy, and put it in my shelf, because that game should not be that difficult to find, but for whatever reason it is. So these 4 games will be the ones that I'm actively hunting. Hopefully I have at least a couple of them for the next episode. But anyways, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and all the tips and the stories that I told along the way. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the Hub World for more content. Check out Gino and Adriano's Majora's Mask Ocarina of Time Randomizer. It's such a fun watch. I even pop in every now and again to help Gino decipher his maze of a map that he's made. Anyways, everyone, thank you for watching. I will see you again next time. Bye.
Hey!